My name's Val Wood and I work for the Functional Skills and Learning Support team. The video you're about to see features members of staff and past and current students of the college. Everyone featured in the video has one thing in common. They all have dyslexia. As you watch the video, you will hear them describe how they've developed strategies to help them overcome particular issues they have, and also talk in part about the support they've received from the college that have helped them go on and achieve their goals. If you feel you may have a specific learning difference, we want you to come forward and access the support from the college.
My name is Vicky Gwynn. I work for the Skills for Life department in college, and I work with the Prince's Trust teams where I deliver, assess and support the students to achieve qualifications. I also IV across Staffordshire several qualifications, and I'm part of the CPD team within college as part of my Beacon role. I have dyslexia and I also have scotopic eyesight.
I'm Susan Tooth. I have dyslexic. I can't even pronounce that word. So. I'm an ex-student here from Stoke College. I had difficulties while I was at school with my learning.
I'm Phil Horton. I've been on this role now for 1.5 years as a trainer assessor in engineering, dealing with apprentices. I have dyslexia.
My name's Diana Fairclough. I'm Security Support Officer at Calden College. I have scotopic dyslexia.
My name is Colette and out of the college I'm a self-employed singer, but I also do voluntary work for coming in with the college because I realised about 4 years ago that I was slightly dyslexic, so coming back to the college has made me want to obviously volunteer and help others and to support them as they need the support.
I'm Stuart and I'm currently working as a LSA for Stoke College. I've been diagnosed with dyslexia. I was diagnosed when I was 17.
My name's Dave Phillips and I'm Educational Technologist at Stoke on Trent College. I'm dyslexic, been diagnosed officially for about 6 years, and my particular area, shall we say, is I've got pretty poor processing skills and not the best memory.
Dyslexia has affected my ability to do my job because I'm very aware of it all the time. When students are asking me spellings, for example, and I'm in my head picturing the words out or having to write them down before I assist them with spellings. Time management, if I lost my diary, I'd be absolutely lost. I wouldn't know where I was tomorrow, never mind next week. I've got to-do lists everywhere because it's the only way that I can manage what I'm doing and keep on track of things. And then just reading criteria and understanding tracking sheets and things makes it quite confusing, partly because of my scotopic sight, so I struggle when there's black ink on white paper, which is a lot of the awarding body requirements, and I'm squinting or have to use my overlay and things like that.
Dyslexia has helped me do my job in the fact that the young people I work with tend to have dyslexia, and I like to think that I know what they're going through, so I think I find it a little bit easier to support them, in all the work and all the things that they're doing through college.
I would say that as a person I'm really confident anyway. I've performed in front of as much as 20,000 people, but with dyslexia it's always held me back. I used to have notes that were handed to me on stage, and being in a band and a group of people, obviously you've got more support anyway, but my brother was always with me, and I would hand over even somebody saying happy birthday to somebody with the confidence of reading it out aloud over the mic. It wasn't the same as the confidence of what I got in life. With education, of reading that note, it's sort of, I can't do this. So I'd always pass the book and pass it along, constantly doing it. And I would say that it stopped me going further, probably with my career.
Sometimes it's more difficult to do my job, but I've just got to put more effort in, and I do that. And how do I know that actually works? Well, the position I've got, it's way and beyond anything I thought career-wise. It's way and beyond anything I thought I'd be doing. So yeah, that's really doing something right.
I find it difficult sometimes to put pen to paper, to write things down, and my short-term memory. The fact that I've got scotopic dyslexia means different colours over paperwork can make things easier. For instance, mine's amber. I use amber tint in my glasses to help me to read things better, and also to drive at night because the lights become very bright if I haven't got the amber tint.
Dyslexia makes it harder for me when it becomes doing paperwork side of it. Sometimes the questions on the form filling in doesn't sort of work out what I think it should mean. It's like if I'm looking at something and it's what their interpretation is different towards my interpretation, so I do get a bit confused on some of the paper side of it. But once I've mastered it and practice on that, then I gain a lot more strength from it.
My career path has not been affected at all by my dyslexia. In fact, in some ways, it enhanced it. I wanted to task or push myself as far as I can. And quite recently, the last 12 months, I got a degree in education. So that proves that it's not as bad as it seems.
With the support I got with my English, and that has helped a great deal of support, because otherwise I wouldn't be on this path.
Nobody should be put off seeking support at the college, because we've got a really good team, and everybody does actually need a little bit of help, you know, in everything they do, and you don't have to be dyslexic to get that kind of support in a classroom. And at the end of the day, everybody could do with a helping hand, couldn't they?
I would say to somebody who's coming to the college not to be put off by dyslexia, because there are various mechanisms, various organisations, various support avenues that you can follow. And my only regret is I didn't take upon that on myself, because the support's there and it's on offer and it's free.
In the past, dyslexia has affected the way I do my job, and mainly due to lack of confidence, things like that. But at the moment now, no, it doesn't affect me. I've got mechanisms in place that allow me to get around the issues that I have. I used to call them problems, I don't anymore. I call them issues. The issues that I have, and yeah, maybe I have to put a bit more effort in to learn certain things or to do certain things in a certain way. But I think I've got certain skills others haven't as well. So at the end of the day, I don't think I'm any different, and I don't regard myself as any different to anybody else that's working in the organisation.
Having dyslexia, if I have new paperwork that isn't generic to me, that's something I've done before, I can do that. But when something's worded different, or something's written down different, somebody gives me a different piece of paperwork, I then find it difficult to write it correctly, because I don't read things in the right context sometimes. I may have read it saying I can instead of I can't, and things like that, so it makes it difficult then to do the paperwork or understand what's written down on the paperwork.
You've got the support here. There are people that are exactly the same as you, so you haven't got to worry yourself too much. Just take that first step, come into the college or university, and you'll get the support that you need.
Again, I have to spend more time concentrating on things, learning things. My particular area of weakness, I'd say, is memory. My memory's terrible, but I've got mechanisms that I use. I use my Outlook calendar all the time. My phone, my mobile phone, I'd be lost without my phone. Dropbox, things like that, just to make notes. And that's how I get around it, you know, so yeah.
I have to concentrate really hard on lists and groups of things. So a simple thing like multiplication tables or a long list of alphabetical items, I do struggle with that. But I have got coping mechanisms that can help me through those things. The technical aspect and the physical, practical aspects of my job are not affected whatsoever.
I think we should always make mistakes. I think modelling mistakes to students and showing that it doesn't matter is one of the best things you can do. I'm forever spelling things wrong, forgetting which session I'm about to deliver, reading a word wrong that sends the students into fits of giggles because it could sound ridiculous. but it's a mistake. And actually, after the first few weeks of being with those students, because I always tell the students, you know, please don't mock my spellings. I am dyslexic, you know, bear with me, we can do this together, and I will be asking you to help me in some ways. And they quite like that they're supporting the teacher, and they like the fact that I'm not standing up there pretending that everything's coming from me and I'm perfect, because I'm really not. So mistakes is good, mistakes is what you learn from.
Professors on a board that are doing algebra or whatever, they're always rubbing out and going back and saying, well, that isn't right. And the whole point of having a pen with a, you know, with a rubber on the end, or a pencil, you know, with, you know, you've got your Tipex and you've got your rubber. Everybody makes mistakes, no matter what level of education you're at.
If you'd asked me if it was okay to make mistakes 10 years ago, I'd say yes, but I wouldn't mean it. Now, yes, you've got to make mistakes. I mean, life is all about mistakes, we're not robots. You program a computer, and even a computer can get it wrong sometimes. We're not computers. Yeah, it's fine to make mistakes. You make a mistake, you learn from the mistake. Next, in fact, you're probably better off making the mistakes, because when you come to in that situation again, you'll remember the mistake you made, which is almost a jog, a memory jolt to make you remember the right way to do it. So yeah, making mistakes is it's a way of life.
Everybody makes mistakes. That's the biggest learning curve of anybody, whether they're in dyslexia or not.
It is okay to make mistakes if you realise when you're making mistakes and people realise why you've made the mistakes. Because dyslexia is recognised now and found out that it is easy to say, I'm dyslexic, could you read that back to me, or is this okay, could you check this for me? People then understand what it is because it's been given a name, where before it would just be like, well, you're thick, you've written that, you know, that's wrong, why have you written that, that isn't what you've written, that isn't what you've said. So it's easier now with things in place to say, I'm dyslexic, could you help me with this? Would you be able to read this back for me? So yes, you can make mistakes, everybody's human and everybody makes mistakes, so I would say yes, it's okay, as long as you're realising those.
Making mistakes is part of life, so yeah, it is okay to make mistakes. It just depends if you learn from them or not.
You learn a lot from your mistakes, because you learn that you understood that something wasn't quite right, and that you tried to get. And once you've learned that mistake and it's been solved, then you can move forward to your next mistake.
Well, when you make mistakes, as long as you get the right support that follows your mistake, you can actually it can build your confidence. But if you're not brave enough to make a mistake in the first place, if you just shy away from maybe trying that long word or trying to do that complicated sentence because you know you're not too sure about it, then you're never going to learn any more, are you? You're not going to be more successful.
Because I work with staff who are in the support teams, I see it firsthand, the interface between the support staff and the students. And over a period of time, as an outsider looking in, I see that those mechanisms do work. I think the main thing to get over is confidence. As soon as the student has got over the fact that they've asked for help, or that they found that there's help been offered and they've accepted that help, that is a major milestone. Once you've done that, that boosts your confidence in itself. All the college staff are very approachable, and any help can be got from the various mechanisms that are set up.
For anybody who's coming in or thinking of coming into the college, do not be put off by dyslexia. I think you'll find that most people who have got dyslexia are very practically minded, as in the dexterity, the practical skills, and their way of thought is completely different than some people who have not got dyslexia, in that creative thinking, ways of doing things. Most of your people who've been successful, who've got dyslexia, think out the box, and that's what dyslexia can enhance.
Thanks for watching the video. If you feel you benefit from some support, then contact us via the details that are appearing on the screen right now.